Another day, we survive another day in these wild Trump markets. You know, made 1% today, a little bit over 1% today on the 10K challenge. So we are even closer to getting back out of drawdown, but at what cost? To be honest, like today is it's just crazy. I ended up taking a few trades, unnecessary ones at that, and we ended up on the green side. So let's get right into today's video. So today is the, let me see, I even forgot the date. Today is the 7th of April 2026. It's approximately 8:20 right now. We're in Asia session and we had another huge gap up because of the Trump markets. Trump made another tweet, so looks like we're going to have a deal, and we just ran up approximately, let me see how much is this look like over 250 points, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually go to trading view and look how much points. So we had another wild move, and I might not be getting any trades tonight in the markets because of this type of movement. Just some wild move. So this is showing me over almost 700 points. If you count the spike down, well, from the open here, it's approximately 700 points. 700 points from top to bottom in literally a few minutes. So this run up is like a few minutes, probably about an hour to where we get up here, or even less than an hour, because some deal now with Iran, and Iran coming out already and denying such claims. So I don't know what we get for the rest of Asia session and going into London, but I'm just going to be really cautious if I do take any trades. But you know, let's get to today's video. So um let me show you what we actually did on the FTMO challenge. So like I said, let me show you the executions. I only took trades on the 10K challenge today. Let me go right there and show you. So I got a nice buy in Asia session, and I should have just called it a day there. I took this buy in Asia session last night. Um, Decent buy. So this was my entry right here, and I ended up catching. Let me see, from here. This was my entry right here to all the way up here. This is actually three. Let me see. 180 points. I basically caught. This could have been over $200, but I ended up taking a partial here because a bit of fear. I thought the market was going to roll over back here, and I wanted to just secure a 1%. So I ended up closing out 1% right here. We ended up pulling back a bit, and then we ended up running up here. If I just left the original position, I think I entered risking about a half a percent, quarter percent actually. So very low risk, and very low risk, and very low risk, and a good risk to reward, because the stops that I had were below here. I waited patiently. It was a little bit outside of the macro where I entered right here. A little bit outside of the macro. So the macro right here, I think it was a little bit after 10 when we came down, and I entered around 10:30. We had a manipulation down, and then I just jumped in. And let me adjust here. I just realized it wasn't showing. So Yeah, guys, this is where I entered. This is where I entered right here, a little bit after the macro. So we had a manipulation. I actually take a entry right here on the 100k account and I jumped out because I say, you know, this is a bit impulsive. And we actually came down, then came back up. We had a sweet little inversion here and forming a nice little Judah swing respecting this fair value gap here. And I took an entry right here, risking just below here for about $25. Call it that. And we ended up running up pretty nice, pretty decent. So that could have been or should have been my only trade for the day, but again I got greedy. um I just wanted, I am just really just wanting to get this account back into profit. So I say I have a 1.3% there, why not try to make it 2%? And you know, it almost cost me all of the gains plus some. So let me show you what happened today in New York. Like, I took some really dumb trades. So I hesitated here, watch the market play out. This was when I was at work. I hesitated all of this sell off because I missed the sell. I wanted to catch the sale from around here, but I didn't trust it because the market was very erratic at 9:30 right here, and we spiked up over 100 points. And I could have entered here, but I was waiting, and I got an entry right here. I could have got an entry right here, but I still hesitated. You know, still hesitated and watched the market come all the way down. And then now the FOMO kicked in. I watch the market do all of this retracement. This could have been a nice little buy inside of the macro. You know, kind of risky, but I could have executed somewhere inside of here or even over here and catch this move. I watched it, then I ended up finally just pulling the trigger here. It flashed up about 0.5% in profit with the size that I was taking, and I didn't take it off. We ended up coming back up here, then I finally got stopped out right here. Then again, I jumped into some trades again here, some buys here, and I made it back with this spike up. I took another trade. Well, this one ended up going up and I didn't take it off, so I wanted to get a little bit more. I ended up taking a loss on one of them, and I honestly started to just chase the profit, chase the market. I just wanted to make back a little bit more. So I ended up taking some more trades. I took some buy, went into profit a bit, not the movement I want, and I just kept on chasing. Stopped out here. I took a sell, and I think I took a sell right here. Stopped out here. I took a buy, stopped out down here. Then I jumped into another sell right here, and then I got the profit, but I ended up closing too early because this could have been a $200 trade because I went in about 3 lots and the market dropped like 30 points in minutes. But because, like I said, it's FOMO, I am chasing the markets. This could have ended up with a 70 point move from there. So this trade, honestly, I was at work, and this trade actually dropped over 100 points from the entry. So this could have easily been a $300 move with the lot size that I took. But I jumped out here for like 30 something points. And if I just held it down to here, this would have been $75 per contract, per lot. So this could have been $200 plus the loss that plus the little profit that I had remaining. So this could have been an easy $300 day, 3%. And honestly, I had to fight myself to do so. You know what? Call it a day, Jay. Close the laptop. And I did. I closed the laptop, and then now we ended up spiking down some more. And this is just now that I'm looking at it. If I was home, then I could have been more patient. But every time I try to trade at work, this is always what happens. Because I have limited time, I lack focus at that time, and I'm still trying to catch some moves. So we ended up coming down inside of this macro. This is around 11. Going going down here, creating this sweep, and then we ended up buying up. Um, this would have been a nice entry. Even down here, using this as an inversion would have been a nice entry. But this would have been an ideal entry here using this fair value gap or even over here, this would have been a nice entry. And we ended up just rallying from there for the rest of the day, all the way up, all the way up, coming back down a little bit, and then we ended up taking off again. This is, I think, somewhere inside of the PM session, and ending the day at the highs. And see now, we ended up spiking up a crazy amount for the new day. So if I had just, well, if I was on the charts, then I would have caught this. But you know, it is what it is. This market is very crazy, and it's not so easy to trade. Like looking at it from hindsight, then it's not so bad. But actually executing, if you're not focused, then you can get caught off guard. So let me show you the account here. This is the swing that I've been holding since January. Now it's retracing because the market is gapping up, but still down on this account. Let me show you the trade today. Where's the calendar? So I ended up closing this one trade from Asia right here. This could have been a pretty good trade. This could have been a nice buy trade from last night if I just entered and just hold the trade. It would have been nice, you know. So still no movement on that account, and if I go back to the 10k account now, I'm almost back in profit again. So let's zoom out. So I'm currently here. I should have just called it a day, like I said, because I made some money from the Asian session, but I ended the day with $139, which could have been way better. So currently up 3.3% for the month. A nice little win, but the cost is not so great, you know. But these are the kind of market conditions we're trading in, and like I say, let me actually show you the amount of trades that I executed. This here would have been enough and been fine, but I ended up taking more, taking more, taking more, taking more. These ones were the first ones for the day, and I could have just called it a day here. I gave up some of the profit here, tried to make it back here, you know, just all over the place in that little section that I show you here. And these are the three trades that when I executed these sales, one of these could have made over $100. So this could have been easily $300, and I would have been right into profit. But honestly, I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to manage my risk better. I'm trying to be more disciplined. I don't want to keep stacking these bad habits. And if I keep doing that, then I'm not going to make any progress. It's going to mess with my psychology, mess with my confidence, because I'm breaking all of my rules to enter, my rules to exit, my rules to overall engage and manage with the market. So as you can see, the P&L curve for today, bit up and down, trying to, you know, make back the money. But we're grateful that we came out on top, and I'm glad for that. So let me show you now what we did on the higher time frame, and some of the cleaner moves on trading view. So I actually restarted the computer, so let me actually try to open the MT5 as we speak. But in the meantime, let me go to trading view. So this was the execution during London Asian session. This was my execution right here, and I track price all the way up here. I think I went to bed somewhere over here. I think I went to bed somewhere over here after taking the partial. We came back down, and then we ended up rallying. I wake up to my take profit getting hit somewhere up here. But this would have been a nice trade in London. This was a nice one. We ended up rolling over here, and by the time we got to 7 a.m. New York, this would have been a nice sell from this fair value gap here. Selling off from there. This was when I'm on my way to work, so I wouldn't be able to catch this. We ended up consolidating, spiking back up at open, and this is a 100 point spike into this is a 1 hour fair value gap that we spike into and selling off. A group that I'm in caught the move from somewhere inside of here, and I hesitated. I could have cashed this move, but I was saying to myself, you know, this stop kind of wide, and I didn't take it because I was looking at this thing and I'm saying the stop going to have to be all the way above here, and I was looking at roughly 50 $60 with the one lot that I was taking. A little bit too much risk for me to play it safe. Even though we ended up netting 100, 200 points, this would have been a nice 1 to 3. But I'm trying to minimize the kind of stop losses because I want to risk a certain amount. So I ended up with that missing out that, and then now this is where I did the kind of fumble that I did. This was a nice buy up, like I said. I just mark out these when I was at work, after work, and then now we end up get another buy here in the 2 p.m. Well, this is 2 p.m. This is around 3 going into close where this is where we started to take off, going up, and this is where we are currently at. So like I say, let me just show you the higher time frame quickly, you know. Going up to the 1 hour, this is where we currently at. All the way up here, so we did all of this. So not expecting much move from Asia session. So because, well, not expecting much move from London session coming up because we already move over the daily range. This is the 4 hour. There's no way you could have gotten into this move unless you just jumped in at the open. But these are the kind of market conditions, as I said. And this now farming out to be a nice market maker buy model ever since we tapped into this fair value gap, and we ended up just going up and up. So if we do hold this price action, these will be the targets going into the rest of the month and the rest of even this week. Immediately we could take back previous monthly high here and end up probably take out some more of these highs eventually. So we can eventually take out some of these highs going all the way up into back into all-time highs. So we could eventually get back up here in a quick second. But who to tell? I don't know what we're going to do. This market is really unpredictable. So we could eventually just reverse this by tomorrow morning or by the end of the week, because this weekly candle, no manipulation. You know, not much manipulation. So we could actually just reverse all of this. But you know, that is it for today's video. I'll catch you guys tomorrow and see if we catch anything in London. Then I will record and I will try to give you guys another update. So until next time, guys, peace. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Peace.